What's going on, guys? Aero here, and guys, if you're hyped for the upcoming Nintendo Switch games, then I'm sure that one game that a lot of you guys are really hyped for is Super Mario Odyssey. As when Super Mario Odyssey was shown for the first time in January in that Nintendo Switch presentation, I know so many people's minds were blown as we saw Mario in like the real world, in like this open 3D world, as well as like how the graphics look in that game. They just look really cool, and so people were just really amazed by how good Mario is looking in this brand new game. And so we've continued to get more and more information about Super Mario Odyssey as well, especially at E3. We got another big trailer at E3, and that showed off so many cool things as well. And we've also just seen so much gameplay come out from Mario Odyssey as well, and we've been getting a lot of information about Super Mario Odyssey close to its release. And I know some people were talking about how maybe Nintendo's revealing too much at this point, where like they're spoiling a lot of Super Mario Odyssey. And I know some people who didn't even watch like the Super Mario Odyssey segment in the Nintendo Direct that just recently happened, because they feel like that Nintendo is just revealing too much about Super Mario Odyssey, and like they really want to be surprised. And so we've actually been getting a lot of information. Now it's from like the Nintendo Directs that we've been getting information. There have also been just people that have been getting the chance to play Super Mario Odyssey like gameplay demos, so we've gotten information from that. We've gotten information from interviews, and also the Nintendo Twitter has also been posting so much about Super Mario Odyssey as well. Like usually every week or so there's like a new thing that they post about it, so we've gotten a lot of information about Super Mario Odyssey. And I think with all of the new information that we keep getting, a lot of times people forget about all the stuff that we already know, and so that's why I decided to create this video. This is sort of going to be like a recap of everything that we know so far about Super Mario Odyssey. I'm going to try to go through all of the things that we know pretty fast so that we can get through all of that, because we actually know a lot about Super Mario Odyssey, and I think many times you guys might have just forgotten all the stuff that we know. So I think this is a good way to have like a refresher on Super Mario Odyssey, as the game is almost a month away now at this point. So I think the game's really close to coming out, and I can't wait to play it. So I think this will be awesome to get us really hype again for Super Mario Odyssey. And yeah, let's get started. Now, the big thing that I'm sure a lot of you guys were able to notice right from when you saw the Super Mario Odyssey trailer is that this is going to be like that open sandbox type of game that Mario games just haven't been for a long time, and so that's why so many people are excited for that. We've only had a few open like sandbox type of games for Mario. I think the first one is obviously Super Mario 64. That was definitely like the big game where like it introduced 3D Mario, and it was like a really fun game as well. Then we had Super Mario Sunshine, which I think came out in 2002, and so now we're going to be getting another sandbox 3D Mario game 15 years later with Super Mario Odyssey. And so I know a lot of people were really excited for that, as so far Mario games just have been very linear, and like 3D Mario games, especially like Super Mario 3D World and stuff like that, they just have been very linear, and you have like a straightforward path to go through every single time. So it's going to be really awesome to have like this open sandboxy type of game again, where you can go in all directions and explore all you want. And as for the story, we know a little bit about it, and basically it's going to be cool because the characters are actually going to be talking in this game, so it looks like there might actually be a really cool story in here as well. But we know the gist of the story, which is basically that once again Bowser is kidnapping Peach, and Bowser actually wants to marry Peach as well, and Mario actually meets a Cap, which is going to be named Cappy. And this Cap character is also really important in the story as well, because Bowser has also stolen Cappy's sister, whose name is Tiara. So it seems like a pretty interesting story as well. And yeah, that's all we know so far about like the overview of the game. Now, another thing that I'm sure a lot of you guys notice whenever you see some Super Mario Odyssey gameplay is that this is a very explorative world, as Nintendo has always been clear on saying that whenever we see some Super Mario Odyssey gameplay, as there's going to be a lot of stuff to do in all of these kingdoms in Super Mario Odyssey. And Nintendo said, like, you know, you could get through the game if you really want to in a day, probably, by just playing through the story and advancing as fast as you can. But if you're like me and you like to explore every single nook and cranny before you move on to the next thing, then you're really going to like Super Mario Odyssey, as it's also like Breath of the Wild, as you're going to have a lot of stuff to do. There's going to be so many areas where you could just wander off and do your own thing before you actually return to the main objective. So that's going to be really awesome. There's going to be so many things to look out for, and that's what really makes me excited for Super Mario Odyssey. Now, because Super Mario Odyssey hasn't released yet, we don't know for sure if traditional Mario items are going to be in the game. Like, I'm talking about the Super Mushroom and the Fire Flower and stuff like that, because so far, from all of the gameplay that we've seen so far, there hasn't been any type of Fire Flowers or anything like that, and that's because Nintendo has revealed that there's going to be a brand new type of power-up mechanic in Super Mario Odyssey, and this was revealed at E3, and it's going to be called the capturing mechanic. And this is going to allow Mario to throw his cap onto whatever he sees, and he's going to be able to take control of that and do so many cool things. So this is like the main power up in Super Mario Odyssey, as you're going to be able to take control of Goombas, you're going to be able to take control of any other enemies that you see, you're going to be able to take control of items and stuff like that as well. So this is basically how Mario is going to be able to use powers throughout this game. Now we don't know for sure, like I said, if other items are going to be in the game, but the main form of power-ups is going to be through the cap, where you're going to be able to transform into other things, and that's pretty much how you're going to be able to solve many of the tasks in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, one thing that's really cool about Super Mario Odyssey is that it's not going to have the traditional Mario worlds that are in every single Mario game, where you just have to beat a boss at the end of each world and then move on to the next world, but rather Super Mario Odyssey is going to have kingdoms, and Mario's going to be able to travel through a whole bunch of these kingdoms in the ship that he has called the Odyssey. And so Nintendo has already shown off a lot of these kingdoms that are in Super Mario Odyssey, but they've also said that there are some that they don't want to spoil for us, so we're going to have to wait till we get the full game for ourselves. But yeah, so far the kingdoms that have been shown off or the Metro Kingdom, which is like the city kingdom where like there's a whole bunch of cities and taxis and stuff like that. We've got the Sand Kingdom, where it's like a little desert and there's a whole bunch of sand and stuff for you to explore there. We got the Luncheon Kingdom, which is going to be like this kingdom where a whole bunch of stuff is made out of food and it's like really colorful, so that looks pretty cool. We've got the Wooded Kingdom, which is going to be like a dark forest where you've got to explore through a whole bunch of like tall trees and stuff like that, so that looks really cool. We got the Cap Kingdom, and we actually don't have that much footage about the Cap Kingdom, but so far we know that a lot of the buildings are shaped like caps, and it's like a pretty darkish sort of kingdom, so that looks pretty cool. We've got the Cascade Kingdom, which is like this kingdom where they've got like prehistoric fossils and stuff like that. Like you can see here, they've got like this waterfall, and so that looks pretty cool. We've got the Snow Kingdom, which is like this kingdom where it's going to be really cold and there's like a blizzard blowing, so that looks really cool. And then we've got the Seaside Kingdom, which is like this beach area where there's going to be a lot of like cool water that you're going to be able to explore underwater and stuff like that as well. So those are all the kingdoms that we know so far in Super Mario Odyssey. Another really cool thing about Super Mario Odyssey is that Mario's going to have a whole bunch of clothing options for every single kingdom that he visits. And so instead of just having the traditional Mario outfit that you have to use throughout the entire game, there's going to be a whole bunch of clothing that's going to be available in this game, so you can actually match your outfit to match the type of kingdom that you're in, or you could just find a really cool outfit that you really like and use that for the rest of the game. So I really like that. There's going to be a lot of cool customization options that are going to be available in this game, so that looks really fun in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, in pretty much all Mario games, there's always some type of collectible, whether it's star coins or stars or whatever it might be, but in Mario Odyssey, you're actually going to be able to collect moons. And so this is still pretty cool, as moons are going to have a really important role in Super Mario Odyssey, as if you want the Odyssey or like the ship that Mario travels in to get you to the next kingdom, you're going to need a certain amount of moons. And so they talked about how the moons are hidden throughout the entire kingdom, and there's going to be tons and tons of moons in each kingdom, which means it's going to be like the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. There's going to be a whole bunch of moons to explore, and they even said in the recent Nintendo Direct that if you find all of the moons, something interesting might happen. So I really hope that it's going to have a really cool secret for us if you find all of the moons, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of exploring to do in Super Mario Odyssey. Now, something really cool in Super Mario Odyssey is all of these throwbacks that are going to happen throughout the game. And there's actually going to be many aspects of the game where you're going to be able to make Mario transform from 3D into 2D. And you guys can see right here, there's a little part here and like this tower where you can actually turn into like a 2D Mario, and it'll become like a 2D platformer for a little bit. So that's going to be really cool. There's going to be many throwbacks to old Mario games and 2D platformers inside of Super Mario Odyssey, which looks a lot of fun. So at E3, Nintendo revealed that Super Mario Odyssey is actually going to have a co-op mode, which is going to be really awesome, as you're going to be able to do this with the split Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch, or you could use 2 controllers as well. And basically with the local co-op mode, you're going to have one person who's going to be controlling Mario, and the other person is going to have full control of Cappy, and Cappy can like explore through different areas and stuff. So that's going to be really cool, as if you have a friend or if you're doing something and you want your friend to help you as well, they're going to be able to play Super Mario Odyssey with you as well. So that's going to be really awesome. I think many times if I take Super Mario Odyssey on the go, having one of my friends be able to help me and play with me is going to be awesome as well. Now, in the recent Nintendo Direct that just happened for September, we actually got a brand new mode revealed to us in Super Mario Odyssey, which is going to be Snapshot Mode. And this is going to allow you to freeze Mario whenever you want while you're playing the game, and you're going to be able to change the angle of how you're viewing the picture, and you're going to be able to take these pictures. So this is going to be really awesome, as if you find a really cool moment in Super Mario Odyssey, you can always take these pictures, you can edit them with like different filters, you can change the background and stuff, and then you're going to be able to upload these to Twitter and share them with your friends. So this is going to be really awesome. You're also going to be able to change the rotation of them and make sure that it fits your iPhone or your Android wallpaper. So that's going to be really awesome as well. And I think this is going to be a really cool and fun mode in Super Mario Odyssey. So something that's pretty unique to Super Mario Odyssey is that it's actually not going to have any game overs. And so you guys can see that there is some form of life that's going to be in Super Mario Odyssey, and I'm sure you guys were able to see that from all of the gameplay that's on your screen right now. So you can see there at the top corner, you can see that there's like a little icon for how many hearts you have there, and like every time you get hurt, it's going to go down. But after you lose all of your hearts, or after you've gotten hurt the most times that you can, it's actually not going to put you in a game over screen. You're actually just going to restart by losing 10 coins. So you're only going to have a 10 coin penalty, which is going to be your loss if you get a game over, but you're not actually going to have like a game over screen where you have to like restart or anything like that. And I think Nintendo even asked, I think someone asked Nintendo in an interview like why this was the case in Super Mario Odyssey, and they said because of how Super Mario Odyssey is like made, they want to make sure that it's like a game where you explore and look through a whole bunch of different areas, and they don't want that to be the case if you got a game over. And so because of that, that's why they got rid of game overs, so you can continue exploring the world. Now, when Super Mario Odyssey was revealed for the first time in January, there was actually a small segment that happened with Super Mario Odyssey and the Nintendo Treehouse, and actually Mr. Shigeru Miyamoto was present for one of these segments as well, and it was really cool because Mr. Miyamoto was talking about how Super Mario Odyssey is actually going to be a harder game for the Mario franchise than the usual Mario games that we've had after Super Mario Sunshine, and he talked about how the game is actually going to be a little harder, and it's going to be cool to see how you progress through the game when the enemies become more difficult. So I definitely think that this makes a lot of sense because, like I said before, there aren't any game overs in Super Mario Odyssey, so I guess that gives them a reason to make the game a little bit harder as well, as you're not going to lose that much even if you get killed by enemies that often. So I think that that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see how the games are going to become more difficult the more you progress through the games, because I definitely like having Mario games become challenging, and I don't like them where you can just beat them really fast. And finally, the last thing that I have to share with you about Super Mario Odyssey is that there are going to be Amiibo for Super Mario Odyssey as well. And so far we've got 3 Amiibo, which are going to be the Mario Amiibo, the Peach Amiibo, and the Bowser Amiibo. And you guys can see they're all in their wedding outfits for Super Mario Odyssey. And we've also learned what all 3 of these Amiibo are going to do as well. So Mario is actually going to grant you temporary invincibility. So that's going to be cool if you have like a lot of enemies or something nearby and you want to use that. So that's going to be pretty useful. Peach is actually going to give you a life up heart. So this is going to allow you to get, I think, another heart back or like 3 more lives or something like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. You're going to be able to use that, I guess, if you're going to go into a boss fight or something. So that's going to be pretty useful. And Bowser is actually going to reveal all of the regional coin locations. And so they talked a little bit about this in Super Mario Odyssey, where every single kingdom that you go to, you're still going to have like the coins like in Mario games, which are going to be universal, but each kingdom is going to have their specific currency as well. And so the Bowser Amiibo is going to reveal all of the regional coin locations for every single kingdom. So that seems pretty useful as well. And so those are all of the functionalities for all of the Amiibo in Super Mario Odyssey. And so there you go, guys. That is a recap of all of the information that we know so far about Super Mario Odyssey. I can't wait to play this game, guys. The release is just getting closer and closer, and I can't wait to have this game in my hands. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button. It really does help me out. And also be sure to comment down below on anything you guys have to say about Super Mario Odyssey as well. Definitely be sure to comment all of your hype for Super Mario Odyssey down below. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to cover some more Super Mario Odyssey in the future, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero if you ever want to tweet me something or ask me something. I'm usually able to reply to everyone on Twitter, so definitely go and follow me there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.